Bitcoin is retracing right now from this very area to the downside. So will this market from where it is right here move all the way to this very point before the next move all the way to the upside, or we're going to see something very crazy from the bears all the way to the downside on this very price action? Or we're discussing this in detail on the 1 day chart as well. There's a very important chart right here to look at on this very price action. And if you look at ETH, it's not dropping as we are seeing on Bitcoin right here, but ETH at this very point have the capability of coming all the way into this very point where the market moved from in the past before the next move all the way to the upside. I'll be discussing this as well in this video. And if you look at the Blum token, markets have retraced significantly all the way to the downside as expected. If you use the Fibonacci retracement tool from this very point to this very area, it discovered that this very area is the golden pocket, and the market have capability of moving all the way to the upside from this very point. The detail in this very video shortly. And if you look at Pi is still at this very point of important support. What next for the price of Pi, especially if you're mining Pi? All of this and many more in this very video. So pay attention, watch this video all the way to the very end. The first thing here is the price of Bitcoin. In my opinion, I don't think Bitcoin is going to come down into this very price level. Okay, so I don't think market is going to come down into the $98,000 level. The possibility is there, but from what I am seeing on the chart right now, I don't think market can crash all the way into this very point, because if you look at geopolitics, especially in the Middle East, everything seems to be very stable. And if you look at the United States, the big beautiful bill just passed the House, and Donald Trump is going to sign it any moment from now, just few hours from now. And the stock market is having record new highs, which mean even though we see the market come back down a little bit into this very area, there is this high capability of the market moving all the way to the upside. And that is what I am paying attention to right now on this very price action. And you too, pay attention to this, because looking at the market just crashing all the way into this very area is not a possibility. Because for what reason? Why would the market just crash from here all the way to the downside? What is the parameter that you're looking at and thinking that the market is going to come down this much? I don't see that on price action for what I am seeing on this very price chart right here. So expect market to come back down, and where I am expecting market to come into is where the market is right here, because of this very level of important resistance here. Resistance right at this very point can act as a support for the market to move all the way to the upside. And another thing is the market can come all the way into this very point. Okay, there is a fair value gap at this very point right here. Okay, we have a gap at this very area, so market can come into this very point as well before the next move to the upside. These are possible scenario on this very chart right here. So market can come into this very point before the next move upward, and of course market can come into this very area as well and before the next move to the upside. These are the possibility on this very price chart right now, into this area before the next move to the upside. These are the two possibilities that is on this very price action right now from what I am seeing. And this is very, very important for you to be in the right direction of the market. So pay attention to this, guys. And if you go to the 1 day chart, it is covered that the 1 day chart looks very, very bullish. However, this very level of important resistance is still holding the market, because that was where we see the market come into and could not break out of this level of resistance. And my expectation is for market to break out, because if we don't see a breakout, that means market have possibility of testing here or come back down a little bit into this very area of $100,000 or $102,000 before the final move to the upside. That possibility is there, but not below this very point of $98,000. This is my personal opinion and what I am expecting in the market right now. And of course, you know that there is this possibility that exists on this very chart as well, that the market have that possibility of just breaking out on this level of important resistance, because this resistance is what is holding the market from moving all the way to the upside. Market have rejected 2 times from this very area, and not only that, we've seen market approach it, move down a little bit, approach it, which means a little move to the downside, and then the next approach, market have possibility of breaking out on this level of important resistance. And that is what you need to pay attention to be in the right direction of the market on BTC USDT 1 day chart. And of course, the 1 week chart is very important. We must have to pay attention to the 1 week chart. Look at this very price action right here. Look at it, market from here to this very point in this very area right here. So even though we see a breakout, okay, out of this very point, there is this resistance from this 1 week chart right at this very point. So a breakout here will make us to see a new high, but there is this resistance at this very point of $129,000. Of course, you may say market have made that move, but this retracement is good for the market to continue the movement all the way to the upside. What I'm saying is, if we see a breakout of this level of important resistance here on the 1 day chart, a market creates a new high, okay, that is new all-time high, and begin to move upward, there is this resistance that is coming from this very area of resistance, which is 2024, and this is also 2024 December. So market have possibility of retracing back a little bit before the next move all the way to the upside, because I believe that this resistance must have to break for the market to create multiple all-time highs. This is very important because this is the 1 week chart, which is a longer time frame chart. Pay attention to this, guys, to be in the right direction of the market right now. And if you come to the ETH price action right now, ETH is trading at $2,526 at this very point. And my expectation is this on this very price action. Look at it right here. There is this fair value gap at this very point, and I expect market have possibility of coming into this very area, okay, before the next move to the upside. And of course, market can also come into this very point of important order block, okay, because this was the last bear drop before this bullish expansion that created a new high, higher than the previous high that we saw around this very point right here. So a new high was created, so market should retrace back into this very point before the next move to the upside, and also market have possibility of retracing into this very area before the next move to the upside. These are the two areas you should pay attention to for market to continue all the way upward. Of course, I still believe that the market on ETH 4-hour chart have their greater capacity of moving all the way to the upside, and that is why I am looking at this retracement coming to this area before the next move, and a possibility coming into this area as well before the next move to the upside. That is what I am paying attention to right now on this price action, and you have to pay attention to this to be in the right direction of the market as well. On the 4-hour chart, ETH USDT, this is very, very important. And if we switch back to the 1 day chart, it is covered that the market really make a significant drop on the 1 day chart. ETH all the drop to this very point, and we see this recovery last week or few days ago before the market began to consolidate, and then this move 2 days ago. Right now, market is retracing, so the possibility of market retracing into this area is there before the final move to the upside. I believe that all things being equal, we're going to see a little bit of move this very month moving forward into August. This is my personal opinion. Anything can happen in crypto, but this is what I am expecting in the market. Since we are seeing record high in the stock market, crypto is going to follow as well and also outperform stock prices. This is my personal opinion, and you need to pay attention to this to be in the right direction of the market. And if you come to the Blum price action, I was talking about market retracing. And if you've been following, you agree with me that market is still retracing all the way down. With this very Fibonacci retracement tool on price action right here, we are trying to figure out where that retracement is going to pause so that the market is going to move all the way to the upside. So from here, market is going to move upward. This is my personal opinion. I think market from here is going to move upward, and that is what I am expecting. Okay, so market is now inside the golden pocket, which means market have possibility of moving upward. But even though market continue this very movement to the downside, okay, I am not expecting you just take a trade for day trading, move upward. No, markets have to show us a sign that is going to continue that movement all the way to the upside, else we're not going to take any position. What does that mean? What that means is, as market is in this very zone of the Fibonacci, there is this high capacity and tendency of the market moving upward. However, we need to pay attention to volume. Okay, volume in the market from the bulls is very important for market moving upward. So we still expect market to move downward, but we need to see significant, strong, bullish candle all the way upward a little bit. That will signify that the bulls are in the market right now and they are willing to push the market all the way to the upside. Then we can take a trade for market moving upward. What that means is this retracement have ended and buyers are willing to move the market all the way to the upside. This is very, very important on this price chart right now. So conclusively, on the Blum price action, what I am expecting is for retracement to end within this very point, okay, for market to move upward, and I will be giving you updates on this very channel. For Pi, market looks very, very bearish. After this very move, market move all the way to the downside, okay? And Pi for me have turned to a pump and dump token. Why? Because of the mechanism that is built in the algorithm. The protocol for me is not very smart, and there should be some changes, especially for miners getting their token and coming back to the market to dump it. It's not a good thing for investors. Not only for investors, it's not a good thing for the coin in the market. Okay, so if you are mining and after you receive reward, of course, you should be rewarded for mining. But coming back to the market to dump it is not a good idea. It will not make the token to grow. It will not make the token to scale, thereby attracting good investors. Because if you begin to see a token have been down for several months, it will not attract good investors into the project. And that is my personal opinion on this very token. So for us to see a sustainable increase all the way to the upside on the price of Pi, there should be some changes in the algorithm, in the protocol. There should be that changes in the blockchain that will enhance the way that miners earn token, which they should be rewarded for mining, and also attracting investors that will keep this very price you're seeing right here stable. So for me, on this very price action for our chart, Pi USDT, expect the market to break here. That's what I'm expecting. And you know, if that breakout occur, market is going to continue all the way to the downside, approaching the 0.40 cent price level. This is my personal opinion. You may have something different. That is very okay, but pay attention to this as well while you're looking at something different in the market. So I am expecting the market to break out here, and we're going to see market begin to come back down, approaching the 0.40 cent at this very point in the market. This is my personal opinion on the price of Pi. And back to coin market cap, you look at the global crypto market capitalization, there is this stability in the global crypto market cap around these 3.35 and 3.34 trillion dollars. I believe as we approach into the weekend, we should see a little drop in the global crypto market cap, maybe between 3.33 or 3.32, and the market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside. Of course, it can drop to 3.30, okay? But what I'm trying to say is that in as much as market is going to begin to move upward gradually this very month, I am expecting a little increase in this very global crypto market capitalization. Not only that, there are a lot of analysts, economists, and investors talking about this very global crypto market cap to go to $20 trillion and even $30 trillion in this very bull cycle. Let's look at how things go and how that will play out, because if that happens, that means a crazy bubble, okay, is going to happen in the crypto space. And this is my personal opinion. If the global crypto market capitalization go to $20 trillion and $30 trillion as the case may be, and if you look at the fear and greed index, it's still within the neutral position at 55%, and this is also okay as we see more volume and liquidity coming to the market. Of course, is going to shift a little bit into the greed area very, very soon. Pay attention to all of these guys to be in the right direction of the market. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for all that crypto content. Join our Telegram channel, the link in the description of this very video, and also in the pinned comment. It is a free channel. Join right now, link below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.